I've already filmed this update video, but here we are. So much has changed. There are so many updates that I kind of just felt like I needed to scrap that video entirely and refilm it, mix around how I did it, and well, just things have changed. My thoughts, my opinions have changed given new information. If you have seen the thumbnail, if you have seen the title, you probably know what we're gonna be talking about. It's all over the freaking beauty community right now. This video is more than just my opinion on the Jaclyn Cosmetics launch and the lipsticks that I received, but in my previous video that I filmed kind of a while ago, I'm late getting this up, I swatched all the lipsticks on my mouth. I had a much different opinion than I do now, and so basically all of that information was irrelevant. There was also a big portion of that video that was out of focus, so we're gonna forget that that video was ever filmed, and we are refilming today. This is my May beauty budget, my May budget update. I do these every month on my channel nowadays, and usually I talk about just kind of my budget in general, things that tempted me for the previous month that I didn't buy, and then things that I used my budget on, things that I actually bought, slash sometimes beauty things that I received for free for review. And usually I include the things that I bought and received at the end of the video, but I thought I would today start with the big bang, the big thing that people want to know about, that people probably maybe clicked on this video for, which is the Jaclyn Cosmetics launch, the line, the lipsticks. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start at the beginning. So hi, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Jaclyn. Welcome to my channel if you are new. I'm on a budget right now. I allow myself $180-ish, give or take, the beginning of every month that I can use on fun stuff, basically. Last month, the month of May, I used 49 of that $180, which that's a lot of money. $49, that's a large chunk of my budget. I used them to purchase the Nude Moment Trio from the Jaclyn Cosmetics line. This trio came with That Girl, Sophia, and Perfectionist. So those are the 3 shades that came in this trio. I was pretty happy with my lipsticks, to be honest. I really enjoyed them. I really love the colors of the ones that I chose. I really like the formula. I'm not gonna lie about that. I enjoyed them. If you've seen JenLuvsReviews review on these lipsticks, that's kind of how I felt about them. Essentially, her entire story with these lipsticks is very similar to mine. I enjoy the formula. I don't have major issues with mine. I do have some of the little granules inside of my lipsticks, but I thought, like many other people thought, that those were just some kind of butter that was in the ingredients that had melted down and then solidified once the lipstick cooled again, which caused the clumping up of material inside the lipstick, which still seems weird, but the formula was still fine, so I didn't really take much note of it. But, and it's a big but, I saw Kristi's video and I saw that girl Shay's video, but Kristi's video really is what did it for me. So RawBeautyKristi is a huge channel on the platform. She received a full PR kit and she bought a full kit from Jaclyn's website because she wasn't told she was on the PR list. It was this whole thing. Anyway, so she received both kits and she went through her purchased kits and she had so many issues. The footage that she included in her video was honestly horrifying. And to think that some of the things from her lipsticks could be in my lipsticks, it grossed me out so much that I don't want to use them anymore, which it sucks. But again, I had some of those little granules in my lipsticks. We don't know what they are. Jaclyn Cosmetics, Jaclyn have not addressed this. It's been going on for days and days and days now, and that's probably the biggest thing about this whole situation is we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's in there. Are they investigating? I want to say that they probably are, but the fact that she hasn't really come out and addressed it, that's probably the biggest thing for me. I still have all 3 of my lipsticks right here. I did swatch all of them in my video that I filmed probably 4 or 5 days ago maybe, and I was really proud of that whole segment of the video because usually I don't include swatches. So I was really excited to actually have that to include in my video, and I I don't recommend these, and that's really disappointing. That's the biggest thing, is I'm really disappointed, and I can only imagine how disappointed Jaclyn is also. I mean, ultimately this falls on her shoulder. Something slipped through the cracks, she missed something, she messed something up. This is hers, you know, this is her brand, so she is at fault. Do I think that she would have released something of this quality? I mean, she did release something of this quality, let's be honest, but I find it hard to believe that she would release something if she knew that this was happening, because she was just so anxious about releasing things and nervous and, you know, trying to be perfect with her launch that I don't know. It's because she did release these. That's the facts. These were released. If she comes out and completely lays it all on the table, if she addresses everything, then maybe that would give her some redeeming points. I'm not totally sure. I have reached out via email to the customer service line to see what can be done. I'm someone who has really liked Jaclyn in the past. I know she's not everybody's cup of tea. I really like her energy. She just is so excited about things in life, and I just like people like that. I like people who have good energy, and I just always felt like she was that kind of person. Our styles and our way of living obviously is very different. For example, something I mentioned in my initial review is that I don't really love the packaging of these. I think that the diamond on the top is just not something I would love to just, you know, showcase on my vanity, in my makeup bag, in my purse. But I can see why this is very Jaclyn-esque, and I can see why some people would like it, but it's just not my style. But I was willing to overlook that because I really did like the product. But I don't want to use these, and also I want my money back. You know, again, I'm on a budget. $49 is a lot of money, and to have something that I'm too afraid to put on my mouth, no. So I have reached out to them to see what they're gonna say. I desperately hope that they are accepting returns due to these issues and that they will reissue a refund. I guess we'll see. I don't know, but yes, I did receive these. My initial review of these was positive. I loved the colors. I did really like the formula. The smell was fine for me. I think the price point is fine, but whatever is going on with these lipsticks, that's not okay. And I do not feel comfortable recommending them. I do not feel comfortable using them on myself. So I do have all of the packaging. Hopefully they'll accept returns. So I guess we'll see. That's where I stand with my purchases of Jaclyn Cosmetics. I do hope that future releases are a success with her brand. This is really disappointing, and I'm not super stoked about the way that she's handling it right now and the brand is handling it right now, because it is such a huge issue. So that horse has probably been beat to death now, so let's go ahead and move on. If you are only here for my thoughts on the Jaclyn lipsticks, you are welcome to out of the video, but I am going to be talking about the other things that I used my $180 on, and then a couple things that I was tempted by last month, and then also I wanted to just clarify some things about my budget, because there was some questions from my video last month about what was included in my budget, not included in my budget. So actually, let's go ahead and start there before we move into the other things that I purchased, just so it makes more sense. So I have a big budget spreadsheet, right, that I have all of our paychecks on, mine and my husband's, and then what paychecks rent comes out of, what paychecks bills comes out of, all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, from there, I kind of figured out what we should be allowed each in terms of fun money for the month. We also have a separate set amount of money for joint activities. So if we want to go to the movies together, if we want to go on a date night together, concerts, which we don't really go to concerts because there's nothing much around us, but stuff like that, excursions together out and about that cost money, we have another separate chunk of money for that. But for example, if I wanted to go to the movies with my friends, I would use my fun money. If I wanted to buy coffees, drive-through coffees, those count towards my $180. For example, for the last maybe 8 years of my life, I have purchased a coffee almost every single day. Now, let's do a little bit of math here. So say a coffee is $4.50. There are 30 days in the month. It's $135. That's a lot of money. My budget is only usually about 180. So 180 subtract 135 would leave me with $45 for the month, which is not that much, especially when my budget includes things I want to do on my own with friends, for example. So if we want to go wine tasting, or if I want to go out to dinner with my friends, if I want to buy makeup, if I want to buy skincare, if I want to buy homeware stuff that's not, you know, necessary, dish soap and laundry detergent, none of that counts towards my $180. But truly, fun money. I have cut down my drive-through coffee consumption to about 2 coffees a week, which is significantly less, as you just saw, from what I used to be doing. I've been making coffees at home. It's been really great. It has saved me money. I have switched from dairy to almond milk, which is saving my dairy consumption. It's also saving me a ton of sugar consumption because I'm no longer getting those super sugary, delicious packed drinks. I'm making the coffee at home, and it's almost just as delicious. So there's some explanation about how I'm using and allowed to use my budget. I hope that answers your questions that I had from the last update. What did I use my budget on? I had it somewhere. Okay, so right when the month started, I went to dinner with my friend and I ended up spending only $10 on dinner. I ordered a water, I ordered a pretty inexpensive meal, and the $10 was including tip. So I felt really good about that. I was really motivated at the beginning of May to stick to my budget. But then I went to dinner with same friend and another friend, and I ultimately ended up spending $45, and that's a place that I should have maybe thought about it more before we decided on a place to eat. That was a regret. I spent way too much money on dinner that night. Then I spent $49 on the Jaclyn lipsticks, which hopefully I will be getting my money back for those, but I did spend $49 last month. In terms of drive-through coffees, I did spend $27 last month. I did use some punch cards to get a free coffee a couple times, so I only spent $27 on coffees. We did go to the coast and I bought a kettle corn bag that was $6. I went and got smoothie bowls twice, I think, and that was $17. At the coast, there also was a discount liquor store that we got some beverages at, and I ended up spending around $20 there. So I was left with, I think, around $6 or so, and then I lost my wallet, which is great, and I essentially lost that money. But today, as it so happens, I got a call that somebody found my wallet and everything was in there, which was a miracle. So I do have that little bit of money left over in my wallet. That's another thing that I didn't mention in this video, but I did mention in the last video, is that I've been trying to pull cash out of the bank to use as fun money to make it harder on myself to spend it, because I just figure that if I have that cash in hand, it'll make me more responsible because I can see it in my hand and will be less inclined to spend it. So those are all the things that I bought last month. I do have a couple things that I wanted to talk about that I got in Octoly. A few of them I've already talked about on my channel, so I'll just run through those real fast. One other one that I have not talked about on my channel yet is from First Aid Beauty. I did receive this complimentary of First Aid Beauty through the Octoly website, but this, unfortunately, I do not have a very positive review of. This video just feels like it's full of negativity. I do apologize. But this is the Facial Radiance AHA Intensive Peel Extra Strength Resurface, Smooth, and Brighten. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of words. So I'm a pretty avid exfoliator. I use a lot of exfoliating type of products, whether that's an actual physical exfoliant or a chemical exfoliant. I use the Baby Facial by Drunk Elephant usually once a week, and then I use the Glycolic Night Serum every day during the week at night. So my face is used to exfoliating properties, but this just isn't doing it for me, and that really sucks to say. So what this is, it's a chemical exfoliant. So you apply it to your face, you leave it on for about, well, what it says is you put it on for as low as 45 seconds to start, and then work your way up to 3 minutes. So I've used this a handful of times. I've tried it for 45 seconds, I've tried it for a minute, I've tried it for probably closer to 2 minutes. It doesn't hurt when I put it on, it doesn't hurt when I wash it off. It starts to kind of have this not really great feeling. It's like a very mild discomfort to the skin, usually after I've completely dried my face off and it's starting to dry down, when my face is just dry. And so after it's fully dry, I get this almost like a dull discomfort in my skin. It goes away usually after I apply toner and moisturizer, but don't love that. Also, usually with any kind of masks, I can tell pretty quickly whether it's gonna work for me or not, and this just, not only did I experience that discomfort, but it just didn't feel great on my skin. My skin didn't look any better afterwards. There was just nothing that happened. Now, what else I will say is that skincare is very subjective. It differs wildly from person to person. So just because something works for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you, and vice versa. So maybe this would work for you. I don't know. It is $32. I would definitely recommend picking up a sample of it if it's something that you would like to try. Maybe it would be magic for you. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of products that have been magic for me that don't work at all for some people that I know. So I didn't love this. It did not work for me, but I do love a lot of First Aid Beauty products. I will say that. They do have a peel-off mask that works wonders for my skin and I really love, but this just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. I'll probably try and use it a couple more times, and then if it still doesn't work for me, I might try and pass it along to a friend, so maybe it'll be magic for them. Who knows? The last three things that I received from Octoly, I received complimentary from Ofra Cosmetics. I did use, I think, all three of these in a tutorial recently. I used the eyeshadow primer. Let me look up the prices to make sure I give you up-to-date and accurate information. So the eye gel primer is $20. I really like this stuff a lot. It is on par with other high-end primers, but a little bit cheaper. A lot of them run over $20, and this one is $20 on the dot. Really love this. Definitely would recommend if you enjoy high-end primers. Next, we have the palette. So this is the Signature Palette Radiant Eyes. This is an all shimmer neutral palette. As you can see, I really love this. I think that it is beautiful, particularly this color, and this color over here. I've also used this one quite a bit. Haven't used this one on the end very much, but I think it would look really good with my blue eyes. These shimmers are gorgeous. Here, let me swatch a couple on the back of my hand. Or, you know, we'll just swatch all of them on the back of my hand. So those are what all of the shades look like. They're so beautiful. The only one that's a little more difficult to get swatched is the middle shade, the darkest one. It does have a little bit more pigment in there and is a little bit more hard pressed, but I don't have a problem with that at all. I usually just use it on the outer corner to deepen up the look, but all of these are beautiful. I've used these three in the middle the most, and they're just gorgeous. So this palette right here retails for $31. That is a little pricey for a 5-pan all shimmer palette, in my opinion. Do I love the formula? Yes. Do I love the colors? Absolutely. I think this is beautiful. Can I recommend it for $31? Ugh, maybe not. It's really truly up to you if you think that that's worth it. They do have a code. You can get 20% off by using the code OFRA20, all one word. So you could save 20% off, which would put this in the $20 price range, but again, it's totally your call if you think that this is worth it. I did use a bunch of these shades in my most recent tutorial using New Makeup, I think it was what it was. So you're welcome to go check that out if you would like to. That was the second to last product. The last one is an eyeliner. So this is the Verified Liquid Liner. This is a new product by Ofra. This is $20. I really like this. I am always on the hunt for a new eyeliner because I fell in love with the Kat Von D tattoo liner. Don't really purchase from her anymore, so I've been looking for an alternative. I really like this. It works in a very similar way. It's very black. These are not the best swatches, but as you can see right there, I mean, it does look pretty black. I do really enjoy this. I will definitely continue to use it up. It'll be in an empties video someday. I would definitely consider purchasing another one of these when this one runs out. This is probably the thing that I would recommend the most. It is $20, so about on par with other high-end liquid liners. This also I really like, but I also kind of feel like you could probably find a cheaper on par eye primer at the drugstore. I know some people use concealers. I'm a die-hard eye primer person. I see a difference, so totally up to you. This is probably my most recommended, followed by this and then the palette. All right, so those are all of the things that I picked up, brought into my life during the month of May. Again, I know that we are now in the month of June, basically in the middle of June before this video is going up, so I do apologize. Let's take a couple moments to talk about some things that I really wanted to buy last month, but did not. First and foremost, the absolute biggest thing that I wanted to buy last month. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's rewind for a second. Right before the VIB sale, I cashed in 2,500 Sephora points for a $100 Sephora gift card, and I used that $100 Sephora gift card towards this Natasha Denona palette right here. This is the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and although I love this palette, I do think that the shadows perform beautifully. The mattes are just beautiful, stunning, work so freaking well. Even the shimmers, all of it. It's a really gorgeous palette. What was it, a month later? Maybe a month and a half later, Natasha decided to launch the Sunrise palette, which is essentially me in a palette. It is so stinking beautiful, and I'm angry about it. I'm honestly angry about it. I want that. I want that so bad. I've heard some relatively mixed reviews about it recently, but just based on initial looking at this palette, it's gorgeous. The outside packaging is gorgeous. The color selection is beautiful. It's got a bunch of mattes. It's got a bunch of shimmers. It just seems like everything I was meant to have. But I got this instead, which I'm still fine with this. I don't think this is worth over $100. I have said that before. This is only $65 though, so it's just like I was supposed to wait, but I was impatient and didn't, and I missed out. I wanted to buy that in another year. I probably maybe would have bought that, but I did not, mainly because I was going to buy these instead. Also, I'm limiting my palette purchases this year. If you haven't heard about that yet, I'm only allowing myself 2 mainstream brand palette purchases and then 4 indie brand palette purchases. So what else did I want to buy last month but did not? I need to get better at keeping track of what caught my attention because I have been a little bit bad about that. I'm going to try and do that. Well, we're already halfway through June, but I am doing that more this month than I did last month. So hopefully I'll have more to report back on. Oh, this! Fenty Beauty released a summer collection, and although most of it I felt very meh about, there's one thing sort of makeup related but not totally makeup related. So she released a hand mirror and a travel mirror, and the travel mirror looked like something I had been looking for forever. I've been wanting something that looks and acts exactly like this. It's a hexagon shape. It stands on its own. It's compact. It looks like very good quality. How much is it? I have forgotten. $22. I feel like that sounds right. That sounds like an accurate price. So that definitely caught my eye. I for sure considered buying that, but then I did not buy it. Those are honestly the only 2 things that I can remember really wanting last month but not buying. Talked myself out of the Natasha Denona palette because I already have this one, and if I bought that one, that would mean absolutely no more mainstream palette purchases for the year, and I wasn't ready to make that commitment, and I didn't have $65 to spend anyways, so it kind of worked out. And then the hand mirror, I also just felt like I don't want to spend $22 of my $180 on a travel mirror. The travel mirror, not the hand mirror. Don't want the hand mirror, want the travel mirror. So there was my May update. I know that it's coming much later than it was supposed to, but whatever, that's just the way it worked out. I had to refilm this video because so much had changed. Let me know if you have any questions down below that I can clarify either in the comments or in my next update video, because that should be coming soon now that we're halfway through the month. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to. All buttons are down below. And I think that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.